Welcome to Blood Sugar Squad, your go-to channel for simple, actionable tips to manage diabetes and live your best life. On May 14, 2026, Dexcom did something unusual. At their Investor Day, they pulled back the curtain on their next-generation continuous glucose monitor, the Dexcom G8, long before it is ready for pharmacy shelves. Most companies keep future products secret until they are almost ready to launch. Dexcom just did the opposite, and what they revealed is genuinely exciting. The G8 is not just a slightly better G7. Dexcom's own CEO called it a step change and a completely new product platform. That is a bold claim from a company that already dominates the CGM market. The catch? You cannot buy it yet. In this video, we are going to break down everything Dexcom announced about the G8, including the new design, the technology behind it, the launch timeline, and what it could mean for the future of diabetes management. Segment 1. The size. Let's start with the most obvious improvement. The G8 is 50% smaller than the current G7. That is not a small difference. The G7 is already significantly smaller than the G6. Cutting the size in half again means the G8 will have a much smaller footprint on your skin. It also has a more rounded square shape compared to the G7's oval design, and the adhesive patch is smaller as well, so it will take up less space on your arm. For anyone who has ever bumped a CGM on a doorframe, snagged it on a shirt sleeve, or struggled to find a spot that is not constantly rubbing against clothing, smaller is genuinely meaningful. Less surface area means fewer opportunities for accidental rips and snags. It also means more placement options. Dexcom CEO Jake Leach described the G8 as a completely new product platform. That language is important because the G8 is built on a new silicon chip design and a completely new algorithm. It is not simply a smaller version of the G7. And importantly, Dexcom confirmed that 15-day wear is now the baseline for future products, including the G8. So users can expect the same 15-day wear time, plus the 12-hour grace period already available with the latest G7 sensors. Segment 2. A sensor that adapts to you. Here is the challenge current CGMs face. A sensor is calibrated at the factory before it ever reaches your arm. Once you apply it, the sensor relies on that original calibration and algorithm throughout its entire wear period. But every person's body is different. Skin chemistry, hydration, immune response, activity levels, and countless other biological factors can affect how a sensor behaves. The G8 is designed to account for some of those differences. According to Dexcom, the new sensor can measure additional signals beyond glucose. Those signals help the system understand how your body is interacting with the sensor and allow it to make adjustments throughout the wear period. What that means in plain English is that the goal is greater accuracy and consistency throughout the life of the sensor. Dexcom says the system can account for how your body responds to the sensor over time, rather than relying entirely on assumptions made at the factory. In theory, that could reduce outlier readings and help maintain performance from day 1 through day 15. But it is important to remember that the G8 has not yet reached real-world users. We will not know exactly how much improvement this provides until people start wearing it outside of clinical testing. Dexcom CEO Jake Leach said this adaptive sensing technology has been in development for decades, and that the company has now reached the point where it can be incorporated into a commercial product. Dexcom has also indicated that the G8 is expected to improve connectivity and overall performance. That will be another important area to watch once the device reaches real-world users. The true test will come when thousands of people begin wearing it every day. If the G8 delivers on both accuracy and reliability, it could be a genuinely transformative product. Segment 3. When can you get it? Dexcom plans to submit the G8 to the FDA in 2027. Assuming the regulatory process goes smoothly, the company expects a launch in late 2027 or early 2028. In technology terms, that sounds close. In diabetes terms, it is still dozens of sensor changes away. For viewers outside the United States, the wait may be longer. When the G7 launched, it took additional time before becoming available in many international markets. If the G8 follows a similar pattern, some countries may not see it until well after the initial US launch. Dexcom also announced that the G8 will cost at least 10% less to manufacture than the G7. Whether that eventually translates into lower costs for patients remains to be seen, but it suggests Dexcom is thinking about affordability. Segment 4. Beyond glucose. The G8 platform is being designed for much more than glucose monitoring. Dexcom confirmed that a multi-analyte version of the platform is planned after the initial glucose-only launch. Specifically, the company is developing ketone monitoring and, further down the road, potassium monitoring. Ketones are especially important for people with diabetes because elevated ketone levels can lead to diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA, a potentially life-threatening emergency. Today, ketones are usually measured using blood strips or urine tests. A wearable sensor capable of continuously tracking ketones could potentially provide earlier warnings when ketone levels begin to rise. Potassium monitoring is even further away, but it could eventually help people with kidney disease or other conditions where potassium levels become dangerously high. Dexcom is not alone in this race. Abbott has also announced development efforts involving combined glucose and ketone monitoring. For now, however, the first version of the G8 will remain focused exclusively on glucose, but the platform itself is clearly being built with a much bigger future in mind. Segment 5. What this means for you today. First, do not wait for the G8 to come out. The G7 and the Libre 3 are both excellent CGMs that millions of people use successfully every day. If you need a CGM today, then the best CGM is the one you can use today, not the one arriving 2 years from now. Second, if you are still using a G6, remember that Dexcom is discontinuing the G6. Manufacturing is scheduled to end after July 1, 2026, although supplies may remain available for a period of time afterward. If you have not already transitioned to the G7, this is a good time to discuss your options with your healthcare provider. And third, the G8 announcement is exciting because it shows where CGM technology is heading: smaller sensors, smarter algorithms, longer wear times, and eventually monitoring more than just glucose. Even though the G8 is still years away, the future of CGMs is starting to come into focus. The Dexcom G8 is an exciting glimpse into the future of diabetes technology. But here is the thing: no CGM, no matter how advanced, tells you what to eat or how to build better habits around food. That is why we created the Mindful Eating for Diabetes Guide. It is a free, practical toolkit to help you build a healthier relationship with food, manage cravings, and make eating feel easy again. Just use the QR code on screen or the link in the description below. Segment 6. Final thoughts. Dexcom just gave us our first real look at the next generation of CGM technology. The G8 is 50% smaller than the G7, built on a completely new platform, and designed to adapt to each individual user over time. It also lays the groundwork for future sensors that may track ketones and other important health markers alongside glucose. It is not available yet. The expected launch remains late 2027 or early 2028, but the announcement gives us a glimpse of where diabetes technology is headed. The CGM on your arm today is already dramatically more powerful than finger sticks alone. The G8 aims to make that technology smaller, smarter, and potentially more personalized than ever before. Now we want to hear from you. Are you excited about the G8? What feature interests you most? Let us know in the comments below, and please share this video with someone who loves keeping up with the latest diabetes technology. Until next time, stay strong, stay sweet, but not too sweet, and keep thriving with the Blood Sugar Squad.